peace of mind, and the relationship. It is worth so much more than the money I save just by chasing cheap.
Welcome to Leaders of the West, a podcast for innovators and changemakers. I'm your host, Jessie Jarvis, the founder of the West, and I'm sitting down with agriculturalists, entrepreneurs, executives, and everyone in between with the goal of digging into the strategies, mindsets, and lessons that have been crucial to the success of ag and Western. Whether you're carrying on the next generation of your family's operation, starting something from scratch, or determined to climb up the leadership ladder, we're going to inspire you to continue to dream big, growing not just you, but the future of agriculture and Western as a whole. Let's go.
Welcome back to today's episode. Let's talk about loyalty. These days, and this is my opinion, of course, but I think that loyalty almost feels old-fashioned. Because honestly, you can type anything, and I mean anything, into Google, and within 10 seconds, you can find the cheapest place to get it. Amazon is going to deliver something to your door tomorrow. In some cases, even today. Walmart delivers basically everywhere. Temu is going to sell it to you for pennies on the dollar. The quality is absolutely going to suck, but we're all out here chasing a deal, and so we're more concerned about the price of something than the quality of something, which I can't. And if that's not fast enough, you can drive across town, for those of you who live in a metropolitan area, and find 10 different shops who are going to beat each other's prices just to get your business. That is the world that we live in. It seems like everything is about who can do it faster, who can do it cheaper. And when you live that way, loyalty does not matter. But here is the problem with that. When you're only chasing cheap, you miss out on the things that actually make life easier and safer and more meaningful. Because in my experience, it pays to be loyal. In fact, I believe that loyalty pays back 10 times more than bargain hunting ever will, but it is in the long game, not the short term. And it is so much easier to justify that return on your investment or lack of investment in the short term than it is to see it into the future. So what is loyalty? To me, I think loyalty is built on three things. So first thing, it's trust. Trusting that the person or the business on the other side has your best interest at heart. 2, consistency. Loyalty is about showing up for each other continually, time and time again. And then 3rd, it's built on relationship. It is the human side that goes far beyond just a single transaction. It is knowing their kids' names and they know your kids' names, and it's being treated like a person, not just a member of an audience or a number. Loyalty is definitely not something that you can buy, especially at a discount store. It is something that is built brick by brick over time. So one of my favorite stories when it comes to loyalty is I have been getting my oil changed at the Chevron next to the Boise airport since 2011. That is 14 years, which is longer than Justin and I have been married. At first, I started getting my car serviced here because it was convenient. I worked down the road, so it was really easy for me to drop my car off on my lunch break. I'd have a coworker pick me up, and then I would grab it after work. It was easy. But over time, that convenience turned into something else. So because Chevron, it's not just a service station. It's Scott, who is the owner, and it's his sons, Jake and Ryan, and Brad, who has always worked in the service department. Every single one of them, they will stop what they are doing the minute that they see me and they say hi. And I always do the same. Even if I don't have a car that needs serviced, if I'm in the area, that's always where we stop for fuel. Even now, my loyalty has transcended me. And even Justin, if he ever has to go to Boise, he'll say, oh, I'm going to stop at the Chevron. It is the place where we want to do business. Again, whether we need fuel, whether we're grabbing a snack, not because it is a gas station, it's their gas station and has become part of my routine and part of my life. And I will be honest with you guys, to get my car service there, which is something I still continue to do to this day. So let me back up real quick. So I worked in Boise for a couple of years. That's where I always got my car serviced. I moved home. There was a spot in our local community where I could go get my oil changed, and I would occasionally. But anytime that it worked out to where I was in Boise and I was around the mileage that I needed to have my car serviced, I would just do it there because again, it was a place that I could trust. I felt great about, who I was doing business with. I know that my money is going to a great place. And so I just felt good about the relationship. Unfortunately, the shop in our community has closed. So there isn't anywhere outside of a 30-mile radius that I can get my car serviced. So I still, to this day, 14 years later, will take it to Brad and the rest of the crew at the Chevron. I'll be the first to tell you, their oil changes are not the cheapest. I think I pay about $120, which I get synthetic oil, but I could probably go somewhere else, Jiffy Lube or Walmart or wherever it was, and save money. But I don't. And here is why. As a woman, and I know some of you guys are going to feel the same way that I do, having people who I trust with my car is worth every penny. Because too many times you walk into a dealership or a service station and feel like the guy behind the counter is sizing you up, ready to upsell you on every imaginary problem, like, oh, your blinker fluid needs to be changed. Joke's on you, dog. Joke's on you. But not at the Chevron. Scott and his sons, they know me. They know my car. Brad even remembers things about my car's history. When the check engine light comes on, and even without hooking it up to the computer, he just remembers like, oh, that's what it was last time. He can tell me what the problem was just because he's worked on it before. And that is not something that you can buy, especially when you are price hopping and shopping. And every time that you hit your 5,000 miles, you take your car somewhere else because it's cheapest to go there. That's great. You're absolutely saving $1. But I can guarantee that when it comes to building that relationship, even though I probably pay more than I need to, I am absolutely getting the return on that investment. That peace of mind and the relationship, it is worth so much more than the money I save just by chasing cheap. Because I'm not paying for an oil change or a check engine light or whatever kind of problem that I'm having with my vehicle. I'm investing in people that I trust and people who have become part of my life now at this point. Another story on loyalty is last fall, my parents, they were shopping for a side-by-side. And they found a basic Kawasaki model at a vehicle dealership that's not too far from us. But they also checked Carl's Cycle in Garden City, which is a place that we've bought four-wheelers and some other equipment from before. And Carl's, they didn't have the same model of side-by-side that my parents had been looking at from the dealership. They had the next one up, which was actually a nicer version. And it was, I think maybe like $1,000 to $2,000 more. So technically they spent more money, but they also got more value. So some of you may ask yourself, well, why would you pay more when you could have paid less for something? But I will tell you, it was because of the salesperson, Jeremy Wiseman. Jeremy is incredible. He treats every customer that steps in that door like they are the highest spending customer on the acreage at Carl Cycle, whether you are or not. Like he treats everybody like they are the coolest cat there. And that really does matter. So when it came time for Justin and I to look at side-by-sides, there were a dozen other places that we could have gone. But here's the truth. I told Justin, and Justin absolutely agrees with me in this. I said, I don't necessarily care how much it costs or the price difference that we would get somewhere else. If Jeremy isn't going to sell it to us, I don't want to buy it. Because when I build a relationship with somebody like Jeremy, I know he's going to treat us right. Sure, we could save a couple thousand now, but down the road, just the life of not only for that specific side-by-side, but any other type of ATV that we ever have to buy for a ranching operation, which for us, obviously, that is going to probably be a lifetime of those, no matter how often we use our horses. This is something that we are always going to have. And so I want to create a relationship with somebody so that I know when I buy something from them, they're going to work hard for me and I am going to be the best customer for them. And Jeremy has totally proven it. My parents, they recently had to take their side-by-side in for a service and they were told that it was going to take, I think it was like 2 to 3 weeks because the shop was so backed up. But a week later, Jeremy called and he said that it was done. And when Justin went to pick it up, Jeremy said, I appreciate you guys. So I moved it up in the line. And I think he even gave him a discount on labor. If my parents would have gone somewhere else to go buy the cheapest model, that probably wouldn't have happened. But it is the act of being loyal and building a true relationship with somebody that really transcends far past just being a customer and a business that you're buying something from. Like that really is the power of loyalty. I have another story on loyalty. This is my hairstylist, Kelsey. I have a friend who she is somebody who she bounces from stylist to stylist, whoever can get her in that day. And guess what? She rarely loves her hair. Anytime she ever gets her hair done, I always have to hear about how she doesn't like how it looks, or they did this wrong, or this isn't really what she thought, or it doesn't match the Pinterest picture that she gave them. Me, on the other hand, I have been seeing my stylist, Kelsey Reynolds Wood, since 2012, 13 years. So almost as long as I have been using the airport Chevron in Boise. But you guys, I've had the same length of relationship. Actually, I've had a longer relationship with my dermatologist, my endocrinologist, my eyebrow lady. I think that's it. But these are all people that I have built real, true relationships with. I know them. I know their kids. If I know something is going on in their lives, like I text them, I follow them on Instagram. And because of that, I can tell you that I put my full trust into these people. Like with Kelsey, I trust her completely, whether it is coloring my hair, on the products, on how she thinks we should style it. She could tell me that I need to shave my head like Britney Spears, and I would hand her the clippers. That is how deep this trust runs for her. And are there times that I want to get in and her schedule is full? Yes, of course. So would it be really easy for me to say, oh, that's not fast enough for me, I'm going to go somewhere else? Yeah, I could do that. But I will tell you that the wait is always worth it because loyalty is what builds trust. If I wanted the cheapest deal, I could go find it. I could go book a same day appointment with somebody new, but that is the short game. And that is going to cause me to be unhappy with the result, to feel like I've wasted my money, to not feel confident because I don't like how my hair looks. And it does take a very long time to find the right person, especially if you're somebody who you've moved and you've gone to different areas. I mean, when I lived in Boise, Kelsey worked in Meridian, so it was really close. It was maybe 10 minutes for me to get to her salon. And when I came back home, it's now about an hour and 20 minutes. But I still make the trek. I know a woman who drives like 3 hours to go have Kelsey do her hair. Like those are the type of clients that she has also built in being so loyal to her because she is so loyal to them. It really is playing that long game. So why are we talking about loyalty? Here is the bigger picture. I think that loyalty is something that is really going to the wayside in today's world. The economy has been uncertain for a long time, and in times of uncertainty, people, they tighten up. We all do. They price shop. We chase the cheapest deal, and I get it and I respect it. I have a minor in accounting and finance. I am as frugal and as cost conscientious as they come. But here is the reality in my mind. When you're only price shopping, you cannot expect loyalty because cheap doesn't care about you. So if you are going for the cheapest price, you have to realize that who you're buying from or who you're working with or who you're doing business with, there's probably not going to be much loyalty there. And vice versa, right? Shein, they don't care about you. Temu doesn't care about you. They're not going to call you when something is back in stock. They're not going to move you to the front of the service line. They're not going to remember your name. They're not going to ask about your kids. But you know who will? It's the boutique owner that you've built a relationship with, the one that messages you when a product comes back in stock, the one that comments when you post your kids in their Halloween costumes and say how cute they are. It's the grocery store in your local community where you can walk to the back and ask the owner if they'll special order something for you. And because you've been loyal, because that's where you do your business, they absolutely will order that for you. That doesn't happen with big box bargain hunting. That happens with loyalty. So why does it pay to be loyal? Loyalty pays in trust. You know your car is fixed right. You know your stylist has your back, and they're going to keep showing up for you. Loyalty also pays in priority. When you're a loyal customer, you get moved up in line. You may get an extra discount later on in life. You're going to get the first phone call. Loyalty pays in peace of mind. There is no second guessing. There's no wondering if you got scammed. You have full confidence. Loyalty pays in relationships. You are not a transaction. You are a person. And people who know you, they care about you in ways that money cannot buy, and vice versa. Loyalty is what pays in the long game. Sure, cheap is absolutely going to save you money today, but loyalty is going to build a life where people invest back into you. And that is worth far more than any bargain bin discount you are going to find. And again, you guys, I love a good deal. I love a sale. You can find me cashing in on all of those, but I am loyal to a fault. So here are the takeaways that I want to leave you guys with. Loyalty buys you trust. Loyalty saves you time and stress. Loyalty builds real relationships. Cheap doesn't care, but loyalty does. It may cost you more upfront, but it is always, always, always going to give you 10 times more in return. So ask yourself, where are you in your life chasing cheap instead of investing in loyalty? At the end of the day, it always pays to be loyal. And I think it's something that we can all do a little bit better, not just with our money, but with our time and our relationships and our energy. So cheap is definitely going to save you a buck, but loyalty, that's what's going to build you a life and great relationships along the way.
If you loved this episode, do us a favor and share it with someone else who might find just as much value in it as you did. We're on a mission to continue to grow and strengthen the future of agriculture and Western industries, and you spreading the word helps us make more of a positive impact. It also makes a big difference when you take a minute to go rate and review the show. We can't thank you enough for listening, for sharing, and for loving Ag and Western as much as we do. We'll see you back here for our next episode.